to North Carolina, and Philip Adams, the former NFL player who in April shot to death 6 people and killed himself, suffered from the debilitating brain disease chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE. The doctor who conducted the brain study announced earlier this week. Anne McKee, who is a neuropathologist who, as director of Boston University CTE Center, led the examination of Adams' brain, presented the findings during a news conference in North Carolina, where the killings occurred back in April. CTE is a neurodegenerative disease linked to concussions and repetitive head trauma from football and other contact sports, and has been associated with behavioral and mood changes, according to the Mayo Clinic and multiple studies that have been done. Adams was found to have had stage 2 CTE, with stage 4 being the most severe. In the Adams shootings, those killed included a prominent local doctor, his wife, and their 2 children. Also, 2 men working at the doctor's home were killed as well. Toxicology analysis of Adams' brain showed amphetamines for which he had a prescription, according to the coroner. That included kratom, a drug that can be purchased over the counter and in low doses worked as a stimulant, and in higher doses can have an opiate effect, according to the coroner, who said there is no FDA-approved use for the drug. The coroner said she did not know how the drugs might have affected Adams' behavior. Adam was age 32 at the time of the killings, and he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. At the time of his death, his family members donated his brains to be studied so that they could see whether or not he was suffering from CTE. Unfortunately, CTE can only be diagnosed after death, because that's when they analyze the brain tissues. Adam's sister Lauren told USA Today Sports that Adams' behavior shifted dramatically over the past couple of years. His mental health degraded fast and terrible. Lauren Adams told USA the day after the shooting there was unusual behavior. I'm not going to get into all the symptoms. They definitely did notice the signs of mental illness that was extremely concerning to them, and it was not like they'd known him to be. She said he wasn't a monster. He was struggling with his mental health. She said Adams was desperately seeking help from the NFL. And, after going through his records from his football career, we know that he was desperately seeking help from the NFL, but was denied all claims due to his inability to remember things and to handle seemingly simple tasks, such as traveling hours away to see doctors and going through extensive evaluations. We now know that his deficits were most likely caused by the disease. The NFL has not responded to any requests for comments as yet. The coroner also said Adams' family told her that the former NFL player complained of excruciating pain from his injuries, often had memory issues and difficulty sleeping. Adams' case has fueled ongoing talk about the apparent link between CTE and violence. Lauren Adams told USA Today Sports she thinks her brother was seeing a therapist before he retired from football and subsequently saw other doctors for his mental health issues. As things got progressively worse, she said her brother neglected his hygiene and withdrew from people. He's always been into looking nice, she said. Like he's always been a ladies' man. He stopped dating. It was just a lot of things that were part of his character that just disappeared. So many people come up to me or call me or text me and ask me, what's going on with your brother? And I'm like, I don't know. Mood changes are related to CTE. Which often involves problems with depression, irritability, loss of motivation, or suicidal thinking or behavior. They're gonna have to find a way to figure it out. They're gonna have to find a way to figure out testing for that particular disease before people die, because right now they can't do that. Right now you have to die before they analyze their brain. They're gonna have to figure out a way, because he's probably the third or fourth football player that have either killed other people and killed themselves, or just killed themselves. Aaron Hernandez, what's that? Andre Seo. There's another guy. He's about the fourth person right now that, and they all have the same pattern where they start changing, they start being irrational, they start lashing out on people until it ends up with people dying. So there has to be a way for them to figure that out. And you can't play football without hitting. I'm not sure how they're going to facilitate playing football or any other sports without hitting, but I don't know what they're going to do. Some doctor will figure it out. That's above my pay grade right now.